Boatyard days aren't glamorous. They're long, messy, and filled with the kind of work most people would happily hire out. But there's something about taking on the jobs yourself. Sanding, repairing, painting, and tackling a dozen little jobs in between. That changes the way you move through the day. It slows you down, makes you notice the details, and reminds you that progress isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's just steady, patient work, and the quiet satisfaction of watching it all come together.
We thought that the big thing we were going to be doing while on the heart was our bottom job. But on our trip here, we saw something that was a little bit more concerning, and we're not sure what to do about it. Go figure. So we're taking pictures of it now, and we're going to send it to somebody who knows more than we do.
Kind of looks like our crossbeam, the backing plate where the crossbeam meets the hull, looks like that backing plate might be delaminating and we're getting some cracking in the gel coat. So yeah, is our crossbeam tearing itself out of the boat?
We don't trust many people in the marine industry. We've been burned one too many times. So we only trust a handful of people. So it's good to learn who those people are in your life and in your boating journey.
And I got you on speaker here with Paige.
Hi, Rick.
So it looks to me like they've been there for a bit. It's not uncommon to see those spider cracks in gel coat in older boats. Maybe if you could get a surveyor to do an inspection of that area and kind of explain the other things.
Yeah.
It might be worthwhile just for peace of mind.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right.
Thanks,
Rick. Appreciate you.
Rick.
Yeah, so that's Rick, sail ready. You know, if you need rigging services in the Northeast Florida area, that's your man, you know. And you better hurry up. He's about to retire.
We ran our water maker once in the ICW. We thought we were going to run it again the next day or the next couple of days, and we didn't. So now it's been sitting for a week, maybe?
Yeah, close to it.
And now we need to pickle it.
We've always been told, you know, don't make water in the ICW because it's so dirty, it's so nutrient rich, as Paige put it. So let's look at that nutrient after it's been sitting for a minute.
What was that?
Oh.
It is terrible. So that's probably why they say don't make water in the ICW.
Now we're going to pickle it. Got pickling solution ready. Now we're just gonna do our thing. In our pickle bucket, which is a pickle bucket, we put 5 gallons of water, like 10 tablespoons of sodium metabisulfate, and then we set up a recirculation in through the system so all that nice chemical gets into the RO membranes and keeps them clean.
Eventually.
Listen, we have a whole list of things that we want to do while we're in the boatyard. Unfortunately, not everything always gets done while in the boatyard. So it's like, okay, so what's our priorities? What are the things that have to get done right now before we splash? Bottom job.
Mm-hmm.
Cross beams.
Crossbeam, if that's a thing. Yeah.
Yep. We're going to change the sail dry fluid.
Yep.
The props and line cutters.
Yep.
And cleaning the through holes. And those are the things that have to get done. Now we have our sub priority.
Like to do.
No, these are sub priorities. We have 3 lists.
We kind of decided the priority list by what do we have to do on the heart? Like what can we not do in the water? You can't do a bottom job in the water. So first things first, the super #1 priority, sanding these hulls.
Yeah, so it's always good to be safe. You got your PPE. There we go. Not just for COVID.
What it looks like has happened is where the 2 pieces of boat come together. You have the top side, bottom side. And so they were coming together like this and they filled that gap in there with epoxy and stuff like that. And just over time, as we've slammed and moving, that kind of epoxy between them has kind of failed and a crack formed. This is one piece. This is This is another piece, and they just sandwich together and put epoxy in there. A little bit more of a doozy on this one. So yeah, drilled it all out, and now just kind of cleaning it up, and then I'll fill it with some thickened epoxy and put gel coat over the top of it. That's the plan, at least. The idea here is not to take it all the way down to the gel coat or to the barrier coat. We're basically just trying to scuff up the existing anti-fouling enough to give a good substrate for the new anti-fouling to adhere to. How's it going?
What are we doing?
Oh, why we're doing what we're doing?
Yeah. Taking a break. I am so covered in black stuff, and I am almost done with the haul. Oh, there he is!
Hello.
Daniel's too pretty to sit on the ground. All right, back to it. Why did I wear white?
So you have that nice full chimney sweep effect. That's the look there, right?
Yeah, totally what I was going for.
How's it going?
Gosh. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I can't get it off. Apparently. I want to say for the record, I thought getting a Tyvek suit would be great. Who disagrees? Who disagreed with me?
I didn't disagree with you necessarily.
Yes, you did.
I did not. I didn't discuss. If you wanted a Tyvek suit, I went to Home Depot today. I could have totally gotten you a Tyvek suit.
My face. Yeah. Okay, all right. There we go. It's working. Just gotta give it a little scrub. Maybe I'll scrub my face next. Is it working?
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, now you just look like a raccoon. That's an inverse raccoon.
There. Better?
All better.
All better?
All better.
Really?
Yeah, now you just look like. Well, now you just look like your boyfriend broke up with you.
Oh, I got it in my eye.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Ow. I think it's 99% there. Hey, those big holes in the boat. Now I'm gonna go fill those holes in the boat with some 610. It's a 2-part epoxy, thickened epoxy. That comes a convenient tube, and it's got this fancy mixer nozzle on it here, and it dummy down work.
I think you're gonna need some gloves and some depression sticks.
I don't think I'll need any gloves.
I think you will.
Why do you think I'll need
Because
gloves?
you're messy.
The whole idea behind the thing is not messy. I get my depression stick and a rag.
Guys, he's gonna make a mess, which is just fine. I make messes all the time, but it should be fun. I gotta say, Daniel's really impressing me. He's making a lot less of a mess than I thought he would.
For that, you owe me 1 beer.
Whatever. We have some dinghy repair to do, so this is as good a time as any. So unsettling doing this. Well, we've dropped it so many times, right? But usually there's water.
I'm getting towards the end of my rope here.
We don't have enough rope to get it all the way down to the ground. Oh, we did it. Now I need to start painting some barrier coat touch-ups that we have. We have several little areas like this on the boat that have just been worn thin, and we can see the gel coat. So we're going through and putting some little epoxy barrier coat on it before we do our anti-foul.
And these are mostly areas where we've had some large barnacles kind of hang out, and we got to grind off all their little, I don't know, feet? I don't know, whatever the hell barnacles are. And then we also have some of the areas around the leading edges where they get a lot of wear from travel, like this.
And now I did my painting. We have to wait, what was it, 4 hours before we can apply a second coat of the barrier. Other projects commence while we're waiting for that to do its thing.
Yes, so back when we first got started in this whole adventure, some asshole did not secure the dinghy properly, and the back of the grill just chewed into the side of it, and so now we got to fix that.
I kind of feel like there should be a disclaimer here telling you guys that we really have no idea what we're doing and we just kind of make things up as we go. We might need to build that up and put several applications to get it nice and flush again. We're gonna take off his boot stripe. It's all old and this decal's falling apart. I'm gonna take that off with a rubber wheel. It's not working. Why is it not working?
I don't know.
It's worked in the past. It's worked in the past with another boat we had, so I don't know. You wanna give it a try, baby?
Yeah. Might be better just to peel. To just do it nice and slow, you should be able to peel the whole damn thing off. Is that just so satisfying?
Yes, but no, because the boat is so filthy from the ICW water that you can really tell. It's like, ah. We are marking our anchor chain, and it was marked before, but we are making sure that it is marked again, because after some time, your markings fall off. And there are various ways that people mark their anchor chain. Some people paint it. There are like little contraptions people attach to it. We are really fancy and we use
Zip ties.
Yeah, zip ties. This might be our surveyor, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Hi. And where the cross beam meets the hulls, we're noticing some cracking. We want to get some professional eyeballs on this before we start to really freak out. Yeah, he'll swing by next Monday, put his eyes on it. He said he wasn't terribly concerned about it. It's not uncommon to see it. We just want to make sure that everything's fine.
All right, this is one more day down.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, we're going to get paint on this bad boy. Girl.
Yeah.
She's a girl.
Get crack-a-lackin'.
We have a lot of work to do today. I think we're gonna be getting in 3 coats, or at least that's the goal. Last time we went and put the barrier coat spot touches on it. Today we have to get some sandpaper, sand those down, so we have to create a mechanical bond. Then we're gonna dust off the boat and start painting. It's gonna feel so good when we get this paint job done.
Boatyards are very dusty, and we want to make sure that the surface is nice and clean as much as we can for the new coat of paint. Forbidden martini.
Each one of these cans costs about $375. We think we need 4 for the whole job, but we only want to buy what we absolutely need, so we started with 2.
We could probably have ordered them from another distributor and gotten them cheaper, but thing is, you have to buy the paint and the supplies here in the yard. It's how they make money, other than boats just sitting on it for $100 a day. So the methodology that we're doing here, we're technically doing like 2.5 coats. We have some areas where the anti-foul has worn away more than some other areas, so we're gonna hit those first with a preliminary coat, then go back and do the entire hull later.
So satisfying. We appear to be getting a little bit of rain, a little sprinkle. So yeah, it's just a little extra humidity in the air. It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
How's it going?
Fabulous.
I mean, I did my whole side. What's taking so long over here?
You're just better than I am, my guy.
I think we all know that's a lie. Not pretend. The inside is the hardest side.
I don't mind a challenge.
That's why you're with me.
Yeah.
Thanks for dinner.
It is now time to start the first coat. I am gonna get this this party started. Just like that, I've painted the whole boat.
She looks good, love. We have our electrician here with us, and he's sorting through things, and hiring a professional to come in and help you with things is totally fine. We've said this before, but you also have to take the opportunity to learn from them while they're here. There are a lot of people in this industry who do definitely have a teacher's heart, and they want to help. So I'm going to go back up there where I think we're halfway to figuring out what this problem with our winch is. Let's get painting.
We're exhausted. We just did a lot of painting. It's been a long couple of days. A paint job.
Yeah, bottom job.
Check that one off the fracking list, guys.
Yeah. And we got our winch working again. And that it took all of 4 days?
No, it took less than that. Just 2, really.
Yeah.
Anyways, my arm's tired because I'm holding the camera up, and I've been holding a roller up
For
all
hours.
day.
For hours.
So we're not back in the water yet. We still have a few more things we need to do.
But soon.
Soon.